Hello guys, and welcome to another episode of our Corporate Practice 1 class by the Dear Core Daniel School of Law. And on today's episode, we will be discussing our Draft 2 class, which is on the special resolution for change of name of a company. Now, we are still talking about our Post-Incorporation Matters, right? And this is our second draft class. Our first draft class, we talked about the board resolution for change of name of a company. Now, for this second class, which is on the draft, we are talking about the special resolution. And like I taught you when I was teaching the board resolution, if you have not watched the board resolution, please pause this video now and go and look for that board resolution video and go and watch the board resolution, because that precedes this. And there are so many information there. If you have not even watched the procedure for change of name, as I've outlined it in our classes, then please pause all these sets of videos now and go and watch it, because it goes or follows a flow. You cannot just come and start from special resolution. You'll be confused, or you may be confused, except of course you're a scholar. You may be confused, right? But again, if you have watched these videos or you have this knowledge, then no problem. You can continue watching this video while we proceed to our class for today. So, yes, we have been discussing our topic, Post-Incorporation Matters. And specifically, we are going to be teaching the draft for special resolution for change of name. This is draft 2T2. We have a total number of 2 draft classes so far for our Post-Incorporation Matters. So, without further ado, let us go into our lecture for today. Now, I can remember when I was teaching you our class, especially for the procedure, voluntary change of name, compulsory change of name, I told you that one of the big 4 for the voluntary change of name, right? One of the big 4 is that you will have special resolution passed. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not my words. These are the words of section 30, subsection 3. During the course of our class, we read together this section 30, subsection 3, and what it states, what it mandates, the procedure that it expects, and what it specifically instructed us to do was to have a special resolution for the change of name of a company. What is a special resolution and how is it different from an ordinary resolution, which are the 2 types of resolutions we have for companies at the general meeting? That is something that I have taught in our corporate governance class, and I cannot start teaching now. Do you understand that? So what I am teaching you now is the procedure for change of name. And with respect to that procedure, what we are learning today specifically is the special resolution for the change of name of a company. Do you understand that? This special resolution is passed by the members in general meeting after the secretary must have given a 21 days notice of that general meeting pursuant to section 241 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act. And this also should come subsequent after a board resolution must have authorized this. That board resolution was the draft that we had in our last class. We have already learned the draft. Now we are coming to this class where we'll be learning the draft for the special resolution. Now, while we are learning this draft, let's go into our class now. In our last class, I told you that one of the first set of things for you to have is the letterhead, right? I told you that when they give you a question in class, right, or in exam, and you are supposed to draft a resolution, or you are supposed to draft a letter, that letter must be in the company's letterhead. I told you that when there is a name of the company given in that particular exam, that you must follow that name in your draft. They cannot say Clyde Information Technology PLC in your exam, and you now say because Mr. Dieko put Yoyo Bitters in his draft, I will always follow Yoyo Bitters. My dear, as bitter as Yoyo Bitter is, you will cry. Don't try it. Please, it is that name that they have put in your exam that you are going to draft a letterhead for. Some exams will give you the address of the company. If the exam does not give you the address of the company, please put a fabricated address, put a fabricated email, put a fabricated phone number, and put a fabricated website. Also, the RC number is usually fabricated. Just put whatever number that comes to your head in exam hall. Nobody, just 1530 something. Just put something. Do you understand? So now, when we are talking about this, letterhead, right? The only thing that may come from the exam will just be the name of the company, which you are supposed to put there. So for you to say that, they did not supply us that information, means that I'm not going to put it there. No. You have to put all the information there, fabricate them. But you should know the structure. The letterhead of the company is in the middle. Please, in the middle of your exam. The RC number is at the right-hand side on the same line as the Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited, which is the name of the company. That's where the RC number is. Some people actually put their RC number under. That is, after the name of the company, the address, the email, the telephone number, and the website, they now put their RC number under it. I don't think that law school is going to have a problem with that, because in substance, you have the name, you have the address, you have the email, you have the phone number, you have the website, and you have the RC. That's what we are looking for. Wherever you put it in a letter does not matter. But this is the prototype that I used for my own exam. Do you understand? You can go to law school, take this draft to law school and ask, Ma, this is the draft that I have. Please, ma, does this draft work for law school? Should I continue with it to further authenticate what I've said? Also, do not forget our ref, your ref. I have explained in last class, that's our last draft class, Board of Directors, resolution for change of name. I explained what you need our ref, your ref for. So always have it during your draft. Very, very, very important. Now, in our last resolution, what we said was resolution of the board for change of name pursuant to section 30, subsection 3 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. Note that in our last class, I told you Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. In this class too, Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. It has to be there. You don't say of Cama. If you say of Cama and abbreviate it, they will abbreviate your mark. If you get my point. So you have to write it in full. Now, in this case, special resolution to change the name of Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited to Yoyo Sweeteners Nigeria Limited, pursuant to section 30 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act 2020. I can remember during my time when I was in law school, I asked my lecturer, why can't I just say special resolution to change the name of the above company, pursuant to? Why am I saying Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited to Yoyo Sweeteners Nigeria Limited? Why? And then she said, do it. Do it. That's what they said you should do. Do you understand? I can remember that I felt that it was just redundant. Even when we are talking about, when I was teaching you the board resolution, right? Why can't we just say in the clause itself that subject to the consent of the Corporate Affairs Commission, the above named company be changed to so and so? I mean, it's more efficient and it's shorter. But my dear, this is what they taught us. Do you understand? So in this case now, what you are going to write, special resolution to change the name of Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited to Yoyo Sweeteners Nigeria Limited, pursuant to section 30 sub 3 of the Companies and Allied Matters Act. Cram it like that. You can of course go to your lecturers to further verify, but put it in your head like this. Some people will say special resolution for change of name pursuant to section 30 subsection 3. Some lecturers will say that's fine. Some will say put it like this. Do you understand? So to have said special resolution to change the name of the company or special resolution for change of name pursuant to section 30 subsection 3, is that a bad thing? Is it not passing the same information? Right? Since in the body of the resolution we are still stating what it is that we want to change the name to. You don't need to put it in the subject. Do you understand that? So, however, like I've said over and over again, it depends on the campus, right? So please make sure that you confirm. I am saying this because I know that you might see this draft now and say, Mr. Dieko said A. Why am I hearing B in class? It is possible to hear B in class, but still you need to understand that there is a substantive information that is being passed. What are the substantive information? The first thing is that there has to be a board resolution authorizing or approving the change of name before we can even get to special resolution. The second thing is that regardless of what it is that they want to teach you in class, there is one type of resolution to change the name at the general meeting, special. No law school will teach you that is ordinary resolution. It is special. Do you understand? If you say ordinary resolution, you are failed. Okay. Another thing is that it is section 30 subsection 3 of Cama. There is nobody that is going to teach you anything in law school that will tell you it's section 90. It's section 30 subsection 3. So substantively, the key information that ought to be in your resolution is that there is a special resolution, that it is passed at the general meeting, and that it is pursuant to section 30 subsection 3 of Cama. And also, when you are couching your resolution that has been passed, it has to be subject to the consent or approval of the CAC. Those are the key information. You see, every other thing is just to make you excellent. It's just to make you the best. Do you understand? It's to make you excellent. If you get my point, right? So how to properly put the subject to be in line, to be on all fours with what law school wants, is to make you excellent. How to properly couch the heading with what law school wants is to make you excellent. So when I say special resolution to change the name of Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited to Yoyo Sweeteners Nigeria Limited pursuant to section 30, it's still the same thing as special resolution for change of name pursuant to section 30. Do you understand? Is to make you excellent. That's number one. So please, that heading, try to put it in context and make sure that you confirm from your lecturers for us to have you as an excellent student. Now, let's go to the body. Now, what did I teach you when I was teaching you board resolution? At, off, on, at. Again, at, off, on, at, off, on, at. Again, at, off, on, at. Now in this case, you must put the number of the general meeting at the 11th, at the 15th, at the 25th. When we're talking about the board meeting, did we put number? No, because you don't put number for that one. At the board of directors meeting of so company held on so day. Do you understand? But in this one now, you must put the number. If it's an annual general meeting, then you say at the number so and so annual general meeting. But note that when we talk about change of name and things like that, it is usually done in extraordinary general meeting. Now, the difference between annual general meeting, extraordinary general meeting, I have taught that already in, again, our corporate governance class. I can't start teaching that now. Do you understand? But what you need to know here is that special resolution, when it's being passed, is usually passed in the extraordinary general meeting. So again, when you are going to speak on any extraordinary general meeting, you are supposed to put so and so. So at the 11th extraordinary general meeting of Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited, the same way we had at the board of directors meeting of Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited, it's still the same thing. So at, off, then held on what day was it held? Held on the 7th day of June 2025 at Sheraton Hotel. You remember that the board meeting was at the board conference room. Now, we cannot use the conference room here because generally the conference room is usually too small to accommodate the members in general meeting for their meeting. So they usually use hotel conference room and all that. So you can just say at Sheraton Hotel, Lagos, or if there is an address put in the question for the extraordinary general meeting, then you are going to put that. If again it is stated in the question that is an annual general meeting that they decided to change the name, please put it there. Don't say because Mr. Dieko said that it is extraordinary general meeting. It can be any meeting. It can be in the annual general meeting. It can be in the extraordinary general meeting. It's just that if it is in the annual general meeting, then it must be stated as part of the special business to be conducted at the annual general meeting. That is, I don't want to venture into corporate governance, because you know that when you have annual general meeting, you have ordinary business and you have special business. Right? I don't want to go into that, but if it is annual general meeting at this thing, then the notice must have the special, as part of the special business, to change the name of the company. Do you understand? Because it's not one of those ordinary business to be conducted in the company. But don't worry, when we get to corporate governance, we'll sort that out. But generally, if the question says that, the change of name happened in an annual general meeting, please put annual general meeting. But if it is silent on that, then you know that it is naturally to be extraordinary general meeting. So at the 11th extraordinary general meeting of Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited, held on what day? 2nd of June 2022 at where? At Sheraton Hotel, Lagos. The following resolution were proposed and passed. Do you understand that? I think I've already taught you that too in my last class. The following resolutions were proposed and passed. I taught you that in my last class. The following resolution, if it's singular, if it's plural, then the following resolutions were proposed and passed. If it's singular, the following resolution was proposed and passed. So, at, off, on, at. Now, for those people who might want to mix at, on, and all that, just know that the beginning and the end is at. Now, F comes before N, right? So it is off before on, so that you can always remember. Do you understand? So at, off, on, at. Beginning and end, at. The first one is the type of meeting. The second one is the physical location. I'm trying to teach you inside that body. So at the 11th extraordinary general meeting of Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited, held on the 2nd day of May 2025 at Sheraton Hotel, the following resolution was proposed and duly passed. Simple. Now we now go to the resolution. You can see it's easy. Very easy. Right? So let's go to the resolution now. That the name of the company be changed from Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited to Yoyo Sweeteners Nigeria Limited, subject to the consent of the Corporate Affairs Commission. Now, you see, it is still the same thing, right? With that we have at the other this thing, which is board of directors. It's still me saying that subject to the consent of the Corporate Affairs Commission, the name of the company, Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited, be changed to Yoyo Sweeteners Nigeria Limited. That the name of the company be changed from Yoyo Sweeteners. Even if you had put this same thing in board of directors, I don't think that you will be wronged for that, because what we are saying, two things: the name of the company to be changed. There has been a resolution passed saying that the name of the company be changed from Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited to Yoyo Sweeteners Nigeria Limited. Abi, is that not it? That is basically what we are saying now. Abi, so, and it has to be subject to the CAC's confirmation, to the CAC's consent, to the CAC's approval. That's all. That's the information that is inside it. Right? So, even if you put that subject to the CAC's approval, the name be changed, or you first say that the name be changed subject to CAC's approval, so far both of them are there, it suffices. But again, go and ask your lecturer. Why? Because we want something that is excellent. What do they want that will make you stand out? Should that subject to the approval of CAC come first, or should it come later? It is even possible, that you would have crammed that, okay, subject to the CAC's approval, the name of the company be changed from Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited to. You have crammed that one should come first. In exam hall, you even forgot. You just quickly wrote that the name of the company, Yoyo Bitters Nigeria Limited, be changed to Yoyo Sweetness Nigeria Limited, subject to the confirmation. It's now later when you come out and say, Jesus, I put subjects later before. How, do you get my point? Why should that fail you? So far, you already have put the substance of what you are saying. But again, like I said, please confirm. And then also, you have that the memo and articles be altered accordingly. Now, it is the members in general meeting that have the power to alter the memo. That is why you don't see it in board resolution. The members in general meeting are the ones that have the power, and it is better to put it in the resolution where you are changing the name, that there should also be a consequential resolution where you are approving that the memo and articles be altered, because if you don't do it, you will do it in another resolution. So if you don't put this here, you are going to lose a mark. Do you understand? Because when you are saying that the name of the company be changed, if we are going to change the name of the company, we have to change certain documents. 2 out of those documents will be the memo and articles. To change the memo and articles, or to alter the memo and articles, we must pass a resolution to change it, or to alter it, a special resolution to change and alter it. If we are passing a special resolution to change, doesn't it make more sense that in the same resolution where you are changing the name, you should also make a resolution, a special resolution to alter? Doesn't it make more sense than for you to first do one resolution for change of name, now draft another resolution that the memorandum be altered? That's madness. Do you understand? So if again in exam hall you don't put that the memorandum and articles of association be altered, then you have lost 30 marks because you do not understand the principles of the drafts. Do you understand? So when I was talking about that the consent of the CAC should come first, in fact, that you put it first or later, so far as in your draft, you have sent a message to the examiner that you know that this resolution cannot be passed and it will be effective without the consent of the CAC sought and obtained. You know. So whether you put it that the CAC consent should be sought and obtained, or that subject to CAC consent, that is whether you put it first or you put it last, so far it is there, you have sent that message that you need to send. Now, if you then just put that one alone and you don't put anything, it shows you don't understand. If you do not put that the memos and articles should be altered accordingly as well. Do you understand? Do you get my point? That the memo and articles be altered accordingly. You can also say that the memo and articles should be altered to reflect the name change pursuant to this resolution. Anything that you want to put, do you understand? You are passing the message that the memo and article be altered. Do you understand? Accordingly, same thing. Pursuant to the name change in this resolution, same thing. But still, like I said, go and meet your lecturers. Man, how do you want us to couch this that the memo and articles be altered? Should we say it should be altered accordingly? Should we say it should be altered? Do you understand? Let them tell you, okay, you already know the underlying principle that there has to be an alteration of the memo and article. But since we want to have a perfect draft, how do our lecturers want us to draft it? I'm not the one that is going to mark you. If I'm the one that is going to mark you, I will know that, okay, you have put the substantive thing that I'm looking for. Since it's the lecturers that are going to mark, let us ask them, what do they want? Do you understand that? And then lastly, dated. I can remember that in our last class, I taught you guys a song. Who can remember the song? Let us put it again. Let us say it so that you can remember. So, who can remember the song? When your date ought to be when you are drafting the resolution, it is not up, it is down. When you are drafting the resolution, where your date ought to be when you are drafting the resolution, it is not up, it is down. When you are drafting the resolution, again, when your date ought to be when you are drafting the resolution, it is not up, it is down. When you are drafting the resolution, where your date ought to be when you are drafting the resolution. It is not up, it is down when you are drafting the resolution. You can see how sweet that song is. Remember it in exam hall. Do you understand that? Where your date ought to be, when you are drafting the resolution, it is not up, it is down. You see, as little as that song can be, remembering it in exam has saved a lot of people, or will save a lot of people. Do you understand my point? Right? And it also makes you remember the lecture. It makes you remember some of the things that have been stated in the lecture. Right? Where your date ought to be when you are drafting the resolution, it is not up, it is down when you are drafting the resolution. Do you understand that? Okay, so with that, I think we don't need to say further. Then we now have our director. Like I told you in last class, first of all, in my campus, they did not teach me to write the name of the director. They just said I should write director. That's all. Some people will say write director, secretary, but I would prefer director to be on the safe part. Secondly, you are expected to sign every resolution. You are expected to sign every resolution, every letter, every resolution. Please, you are expected to sign every resolution. Don't leave it unsigned. I for turn out to song, but don't worry, we'll release our album in our next class. Let us remember our song for today. Where your date ought to be when you are drafting the resolution. It is not up, it is down when you are drafting the resolution. So let us just have a very brief rundown of what we've learned today. We have learned special resolution, pursuant to section 30, subsection 3, where we talk about the change of name of a company. Special resolution to change the name of a company. I have taught you how the form of your draft ought to be. I have taught you that inherent in this draft should be 2 resolutions. Number 1, to change the name subject to the CAC. Number 2, that the memorandum on articles be altered accordingly, right? And then your dates and your signature. You can see that this thing is not hard at all. Honestly, it's not hard. You just need to know the form and the substance, what is expected of me, right? And the moment you know that, trust me, it's going to be as easy as ABC. I hope you enjoyed our class for today. I enjoyed it as well. I will see you in my next class and my next draft class, where I'll be talking about application for consent for change of name. I will see you in the next class. Please, ladies and gentlemen, have a very wonderful day.